years, Geis has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Heck yeah! It's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for Robert Hack Diamonds. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, 2 in Brookfield, 1 in Greenfield, where I went, to buy my fiance's dream engagement ring. You don't become Wisconsin's most trusted and respected name in diamonds on accident. Robert Hack Diamonds has been in Wisconsin for almost 80 years, serving the Milwaukee area and all of the state with top-notch customer service and all the help you need along the way. I had no idea what I was doing. I knew I got the girl right, but I wanted to get the diamond right too, and Robert Hack Diamonds made sure that happened. If you're looking to take that next step just like I did, there's only one place to go. That's Robert Hack Diamonds, 3 locations in the Milwaukee area. Tell them I sent you, and whether you like me have no idea what you're doing or have a really good idea of what you're doing, go to the best in Wisconsin. You want that day to be special, and you want that ring to be special. They created my fiance's dream engagement ring, and they can create yours too. Visit them online, roberthackdiamonds.com, or in Greenfield or Brookfield. And just like me, you'll leave that store saying, heck yeah, because of Robert Hack Diamonds.
Biz Expo is May 21st at Brookfield Conference Center. Learn from the experts at the strategy seminars, stay for the lunch and learn on leadership, and research the area's top product and service providers. Biz Expo is May 21st. Register at biztimes.com/bizexpo.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Your local bar could be your ticket to a global stage. Michelob Ultra Soccer Shootout is giving fans the chance to win tickets to the FIFA World Cup 26 at New Berlin Entertainment this Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Puddler's Hall, Maddie's, and Nomad on Brady. Your neighborhood, your shot at the world's biggest game. Play for the chance to witness history. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26. Enjoy responsibly. 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21+. Void where prohibited.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. This is ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
K-Walk on the Carbless Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776, has this question. Do you guys think there's any chance the Packers trade up into round 1? So the Packers currently sitting there with pick number 52. So they would have to move up 20 spots in order to get a pick in the first round. Do you think there's any chance, Kyle?
No. He already has. We already have 8 draft picks right now.
Only 8 draft picks right now.
No, I don't think and I don't know if the Packers have ammo without trading probably next year's second round pick or trading a second this year and a third this year. And
they would have to trade. They would have to. So by using the Pro Football Reference draft pick trade value chart, and there's a number of them out there that people can look at and use. The Packers would have to trade their second, third, and fourth round pick in order to move up to that number 32 spot.
What team would even want to do that? I mean, because that just puts you so far back from the first round.
Yeah, unless there's a player they would want to package with that. So I just don't see a way.
Nah, it's not this year.
No, I don't see a way of them trading back into the first round.
Now, next year will be interesting. Because the Packers, if things work out the way they want, they're hoping, I believe, that they feel like they're going to get a compensatory pick from Malik Willis, and they're hoping maybe it might be as high as a third-round pick back in the third round.
Yes.
That is the hope. So, I mean, next year could be a little interesting.
Yeah, next year could be interesting, but again, if things go the way we're all hoping, that pick's going to be a lot later than 52 in the second round, right?
I've been saying that for a lot of years.
So I just don't see any way. I just do not see any way that this team can trade back into the first round without mortgaging significant assets.
And I don't think it's, and I don't know exactly what the board looks like. There may be somebody that's worth it, but I don't think it's worth mortgaging the future. When you traded away those 2 first-round picks for Michael Parsons, which I would do 100 out of 100 times, you do basically say, all right, well, if the season goes like you say as you want it to, which the Packers, again, when you're drafting number 52, you had a pretty good. You were one of the better teams in the NFL, right? And so it makes it less valuable to be able to move up in the sense of it doesn't as appealing for teams to want to give up their first round pick to swap out that late in the second round.
Especially with this year's draft, we just had a team that looked around and went, we don't know if we can get what we want at 10, and traded 10 for Dexter Lawrence and didn't even give him a long term deal. They just went, hey, we're going to add another year. We'll see. We'll figure this thing out in 3 years, right? And so it seems like this draft maybe doesn't have the top-end talent, and it's just a lot deeper.
Yep.
So if it's going to be a deep draft, I can't imagine there's going to be somebody that they fall in love with and go, yep, we have to give up significant capital to go get that specific player.
Goody is more likely, and I think this is easy, to trade back than to trade up.
Yeah.
I mean, to acquire more picks, because if you trade back in the second round, you're able to acquire another 4th-round pick or something like that. That might get him tingling a little bit.
Yeah, and we know that Goody's going to want more draft picks.
Tingling.
Yeah.
Tingling, yeah. You had that tingling feeling before in your life. You know what that feels like.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had it in regards to the NFL draft.
I can tell you.
That's because you're not an NFL general manager.
Exactly. They start tingling. When Matthew Golden fell and Goody looked at Matt LaFleur and said, Golden, I guarantee you LaFleur and that offensive staff got a tingling feeling inside that they're about to draft Matthew Golden.
When they drafted Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur was caught on camera giving the little fist pump. Probably had that little tingly feeling.
That was a tingle.
I was tingly when they drafted.
And it turns out, hey, I'm willing to admit, I'm a big man. I was wrong.
I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad all those reports about him not being able to throw, and after the game against Kansas City where he just basically targeted Devontae Adams nonstop, I was concerned. I was highly concerned.
Not only did he target him, I think that was a big reason why Devontae went, maybe Green Bay after Aaron Rodgers into the place for me.
Yeah, I mean.
Because it's not like those throws were accurate when he was targeting Devontae.
What a turnaround.
Oh, yeah, huge turnaround. Huge turnaround. And that's what I always come back to. Anytime I start having little doubts about Matt LaFleur, I come back to the turnaround that he had, obviously the turnaround Malik Willis had. So there are obviously good things that he can do as a coach. I know typically on Tuesdays, Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust is played. From my understanding, you boys did that yesterday. However,
been lost, yes. That's the goal.
We have a different twist on that. No callers, but we're going to have a little fun with that in its typical time slot coming up in 2 minutes on ESPN Wisconsin. Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
It's a great day for Brewers baseball, and with Brewers checking from Associated Bank, you get a powerful lineup of perks all season. Leading off is express entry with incredible speed. Next up, 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. Sporty stuff. And third, up to 50% off home game tickets. But if you can believe it, there's even more you can score. Because with Brewers checking, you get the strongest lineup in baseball. Only from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products pricing and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? they'll take care of it. Dented bumper, scratch paint, Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco, Fisco, Fisco.
We are the home for all your Brewers coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. The biggest event of the offseason. Franchise-changing picks.
Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback from California.
League-shaking moves.
The Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State.
This is ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
The Green Bay Packers select
I know typically this is time for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? Again, this was played yesterday, so you guys took care of all the official stuff yesterday. But we thought we'd still, again, for people who like to tune in at this time, they want to hear that game. If you missed it yesterday, you got a chance to play along because, well, apparently I'm going to find out if I'm smarter than Ben Brust.
You are. I know you are. These questions weren't easy, though.
Not easy questions,
yeah,
okay?
But I don't know that we need to actually do the exercise to go ahead and agree, Kyle. Gabe Neitzel is smarter than Ben Brust, regardless of the result today.
Yes, that would be true.
So, I've always felt like pressure doing this because I had filled in a couple of times. I think not really. I don't know if you guys do fill-ins anymore when Ben's out, but I filled in the old Scalzo and Brust days. I'd come in and, play the role of Ben Brust and maybe because the point is that the fans get to win when they're going up against Ben. I think they got rid of the guests coming in and answering the questions. I think we got too high of scores.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But I always felt
better, though. He gets like 6 or 7 right on a regular basis.
Is that because he now has a child and there's reading some stories? And again, it's not necessarily 5th grade level stories he's reading to his kid, but
there's probably
he's picking up something.
Too, yeah.
There's some stuff he's probably picking up, reading stories to kids.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's been doing it for 7 years now. So you would assume when you have the question 28 to 50 times.
So that is
remember.
As a fan of the segment, one of my favorite things that Strofe does is kind of sneak in repeat questions that Ben has gotten wrong, and then Ben continues to get wrong.
It's crazy.
you might hear one of those today. So 16 games in the calendar year of 2026. Ben has not won in 5 weeks, which is good. Ben is averaging 7.25 points per game, which is almost half the questions right.
Yeah, that's
dang.
Man, that's a far cry from what this used to be.
I'm shocked he's averaging that much. That's indicative of you.
That's probably. All
right, Gabe, you know how this works?
Yeah,
you have 15 questions in 90 seconds. You can say skip or pass, and we'll come back in the end. And we'll know by the time that buzzer buzzes whether or not you are smarter than Ben Brust.
Yeah, and there was 2 weeks ago controversy around the buzzer.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Chef Ed, if Chef Ed plays, there's controversy. He's played twice this year. The first time he played, he got one of the 15 correct. The second time he played, we had controversy that ended in a tie.
It did, but I feel confident in you today, Gabe.
Okay.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Here we go in 3, 2, 1. What ancient city was buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD?
Pass.
What is the term for a group of lions?
Pride.
What is the only planet not named after a Roman god?
Pass.
Who was the first U.S. president born in the 20th century?
20th century. Pass.
What part of the human eye controls the amount of light that enters?
I'm blanking on that. Pass.
What vitamin is primarily obtained by sunlight?
Vitamin D.
What is the largest lake in Africa?
Pass.
What organ produces insulin?
Kidney.
What is the name of the line that divides Earth into northern and southern hemispheres?
Equator.
What is the term for a word that is the same forward and backward?
Onomatopoeia. No, pass.
What country has the most volcanoes?
Country that has the most volcanoes. Pass.
What is the name of the first element on the periodic table?
Hydrogen.
What is the largest species of penguin?
King penguin?
Who was the British Prime Minister during the most of World War II?
Churchill.
What empire was ruled by Genghis Khan?
Why am I blanking on Genghis Khan? I'll pass on that. Maybe I'll come back
What
to it.
ancient city was buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius?
We'll go... it's not the lost city of Atlantis. What got buried by Vesuvius?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. All right, so I think he tied Ben, right?
He did. That's 5 spot.
You tied Ben.
Okay.
And it's nerve-wracking.
Well, because the pressure's on.
Yeah, it's different. But Ben does it. He's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
So he's used to the pressure, and you still tied him.
Okay.
You still tied him.
What was the city that got buried?
Pompeii.
Oh, yeah, I knew Pompeii. That's
Ben
disappointing.
shockingly got that one right.
Because it was a question that he had a lot on Scouts. He answered it immediately. I said, whoa. I was shocked. And then he proceeded to not know much. But yeah, Earth was one you probably could have got. That's the planet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
John F. Kennedy.
Really? I would
John
not
F.
have
Kennedy.
gone. I was hoping to get back to it because I would not have thought Kennedy. I was probably thinking somebody sooner.
This is when you
than
got to
that.
kick yourself. What part of the human eye controls the amount of light that enters? The iris.
The iris, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Because the camera's iris, yeah. That one.
See,
that one.
Yeah, it's once the pressure's off, it changes.
Yeah. I just blanked on it. I knew it. I blanked on it. I tried to pass on it. Yeah.
Yep. What is the largest lake in Africa? I would be surprised. Victoria, Lake Victoria.
We had no idea.
No idea. This one, what organ produces insulin? The kidney is a good answer, but it's the pancreas.
Yeah. Makes sense.
What is the term for a word that is the same forward and backward?
I know this. Oh, why can't I blank? I'm blanking on this one too.
Palindrome.
Yeah, it is a palindrome.
And so-
Onomatopoeia is the word that sounds like it. Yes.
But Ben, again, you got stuff like that one. Ben he's literally had that one 100 times.
I've asked Ben that one no short of 25 times.
And he's gotten it wrong probably 22.
23?
Yeah, it's not close. Country with most volcanoes, Indonesia. You got emperor penguin is the species.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But you had king.
King penguin's a good guess.
Yeah.
And here's the one that's going to get you. What empire was ruled by Genghis Khan? The Mongol.
Yeah. Mongolian, yeah. The old Mongolian reversal with Genghis Khan.
So that one probably would kick you.
That one's frustrating. Yeah, I should have known the Mongolian reversal.
And so if you did this, every Tuesday, 52 times a year, you would probably.
I'd just like to point out that Gabe Neitzel is as smart as Ben Brooks.
Yeah, that's true.
How does that make you feel?
Not great.
Yeah,
Not great.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was expecting more out of myself.
There's a lot of pressure.
Why do you keep bringing up the pressure?
Stevie's got a great question. Why is kidney a good answer? LOL. That's a great thing. It's not a good answer because it was wrong.
Kyle told you it was a good answer.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to.
No, because typically when you use it with insulin, your insulin pump is because people have kidney issues, and so people just typically think that. I'm people. I typically think that
I knew kidney was wrong, but I just needed to give an answer because I had passed on so many.
Yeah.
I figured I needed to throw an answer, but Stevie's 100% correct. It's not a good answer. He shouldn't try to placate me.
I got folks.
You just got to tell me. You tell it to me like it is, Kyle.
He's not your manager anymore, Kyle.
It was a bad effort by me. Hand up.
I got people with the diabetes in my family, and I know they got insulin stuff. It's related. They got diabetes with bad kidneys and some with insulin. So I'm just saying, I'm just praying these kidneys hold up.
All right.
Running the family now.
Okay.
I don't need that blood sugar high. But yeah, there you have it. So you're not as smart, or you're as smart as Ben Brust, but not smarter than me.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. Yeah, Stevie points out great, nice Ben Brust impression.
Man, you said terrible. That's bad. Ben Brust is so bad that when somebody gets 5 questions and ties them, they're disappointed in themselves.
Yeah, no, I should be better. I expect myself to be better. Sometimes you just go out there and it's just not there.
You know how
for whatever reason.
Pathetic of a human being you have to be to have people be disappointed that they tied you. That's bad.
Great point.
That's bad. I tried to give Gabe.
I feel very confident in saying that Ben would be disappointed in me as well.
Probably. He would be gloating.
Ben
he's just happy. Oh, I'm as smart as Gabe. He thinks. As he should. He should take pride in that.
I will say this. We do need to, at some point, figure out a third and final tiebreaker, because we have done Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust with Chewy. They have gone head-to-head twice.
Yeah.
And they have split the series.
Ooh.
So I
doesn't
feel
talk about that.
I feel like we need to. I mean, Chewy waxed him the first time. Second time, Ben won when we had done it a year or two later. I feel like we need at some point to set up a third and final.
No, we have to.
Chewy versus Brust. Who is the smarter one between the two?
Because Ben Brust has called him a rockhead, called him dumb, said he has nothing for brains. So I didn't realize Chewy was.
Has he said those things?
Oh, he says all that CTE. Remember, he makes fun of his CTE.
He does. He does.
Yeah, I don't even think he has CTE.
So the thing, I mean, Chewy was part of the lawsuit. So.
Oh wow. So maybe. Oh, okay.
So the thing about Chewy, and I've known Chewy now for 13 years. And I've done a show with him since 2019. And I mean, I used to do, the Sunday football show preceded Sunday Karma. And I had done those shows with him. He had filled in for Homer when Homer and Gabe was a thing. And so I've known Chewy and have done shows with Chewy for a very long time. He will make fun of himself and make fun of the brain injuries that he sustained as an NFL player. Craig, from time to time, will make fun of Chewy with that. I don't feel like I'm there yet. Still don't feel like I'm at the point where I can make fun of Chewy for the brain injury stuff.
I mean, I didn't realize he really had brain injuries.
Yeah, he was part of the lawsuit, man.
Oh, man, that makes it even more messed up.
I would assume Ben also doesn't know that.
Yeah, I just thought he was just making fun of the football player, but I didn't realize he was part of a lawsuit, got paid out.
Yeah, he was a part of the lawsuit. He was a part of the
lawsuit, right?
I mean, a lot of NFL players.
One concussion up. That's just like anything, class action lawsuit. Let me get my little check.
But I mean,
I don't know that it's one and the same guy.
I don't know. I feel like what NFL player wasn't part of the lawsuit?
But the thing about CTE is that you don't know if somebody has CTE until after they've passed away.
Oh.
Because you can't cut open somebody's head and examine their brain.
Would it be insensitive?
Right? So it's a part of the autopsy when some of these players die is so Chewy doesn't know if he has CTE or not, but with any NFL player, I mean, they're a little worried about it.
Would you be insensitive of me to ask if you think he got CTE? You've been working with 13 years. You think there's a little bit of CTE in there?
What did I just tell you? What did I just... I went on a little soliloquy. I talked about how uncomfortable I am when Chewy makes fun of himself. And now that you have the stones to ask me on air. Not even wait. He doesn't even wait. You could have asked this. You could wait for the microphones to go off, the little red lights to go off, and be like, hey, do you really think Chewy's got... You could have done that behind the scenes. Nobody would have ever known. You put me on the spot and ask me that on the air?
So I take that
after I tell you that I'm very uncomfortable with the whole thing?
So I guess it is a little insensitive. Okay. My bad.
What is up with these afternoon hosts?
Well, if he got CTE, Ben got something too.
I think that I don't think it's CTE related.
Oh, Ben was
from
birth.
I think he just got dropped as a child.
Oh, well, all right, baby CTE.
Okay, well, now that everybody is sufficiently uncomfortable, we'll try get to back to some Packers draft talk. It's coming up next, ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
More coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
Southbound 41 is going to be a bit backed up right now, coming in from about Good Hope Road all the way past Appleton down to Capitol Drive. On the northbound side, slowing down from Mayfair Road up past Burleigh. Southbound 43 is heavy from Capitol pretty much all the way down through the Marquette. Eastbound 94, usual backups from Hawley Road to 35th. Westbound is slowing down from 27th Street to Hawley Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Partly cloudy skies, low of 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 62 at the lake, 70 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on April 28th.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yelich
launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in April 28th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hey, better. Swing into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee for the $300,000 Big League Series. Just play with your rewards card over 3 months to earn entries. Here's the lineup. Leading off April, on deck May, in the hole June. All monthly entries you earn will roll into drawings on Friday, June 26th, where you could win cash, free play, or one of 3 new Toyota vehicles. It's the $300,000 Big League Series, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our great friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Turn your day into an experience at Road America. Conveniently located in between Madison, Milwaukee, and Green Bay, this legendary track offers more than just racing. Walk the grounds, explore every corner, and watch the action from wherever you want. Kids 16 and under get you in free with a paying adult at the gate and camp on site all weekend long. IndyCar is must-see and is coming up on June 18th through the 21st. Great food, great views, and non-stop action. Road America, where racing meets outdoors. Check out roadamerica.com to get tickets.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Planning a high-level event shouldn't feel overwhelming. I'm Tiara Gomez, founder of Events by Design. For over 25 years, we've helped companies turn complex, high-pressure events into seamless, unforgettable experiences. When trying to engage your team and pull off something meaningful, the details matter. From concept to execution, we design every event so it reflects your vision and delivers real impact. No missed moments, just refined experiences people will remember. Let's start designing today. Search online, Events by Design.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by Neitzel and the Ad Council.
You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Some questions as we continue to talk about and get ready for the Packers draft here on ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week. I'm Gabe Neitzel along with Kyle Wallace. Homer going to be joining us in the third hour, talk all things Wisconsin sports. But one of the topics of conversation every year that we come around is best player available. Is that what the Packers do? Ken had asked, because we were having the conversation, would Goody trade back in the first round? Who'd they take in the first round? Would it be a corner? And I'm sure that is, again, a possibility. But I think the Packers and, Brian Gutekunst have remained firm on they want to draft the best player available. And he continued to harp on that during his press conference today, Kyle.
For me, I'm always trying to do my very, very best to take the best player available. I very much believe as we build our board that subconsciously that our needs are factored in. And I think we tried to do as much as we can prior to the draft to feel like we could go play a game tomorrow if we had to and feel really good about our chances. So that's the way I feel right now. So certainly at times where you have players rated equally, sometimes positional need, may factor in. But I try to fight against that as much as possible.
So and again, which is why I think if you've been paying attention, and I know Strofe likes to do this. I don't know how you feel about it, Kyle, but just doing some of the draft stuff I've done with Strofe for the last couple of years, dive into the mock drafts. All right, what are people saying? And I have seen more and more. Like there was one from Jordan Reed that came out yesterday. Did a 7-round mock draft. And he had the Packers taking an edge rusher. And I have seen more and more at that spot in 52, the Packers taking an edge rusher. And you can never have too many edges. I wouldn't say it's the biggest need on the team, but if clearly that's the direction the Packers went, that would be a best player available situation. Like, we just can't say no to this guy. He's the best guy we got on our board. We're going to go, even though we may have a bigger need at corner, we got a bigger need at defensive tackle. This is the best player that we've got on the board.
Yeah, when I look at Goody in the last times when it's talking about the first round picks that he have or the first picks that he has, I don't think when you look at Jordan Morgan, he wasn't the best player available. We know Lucas Van Ness was not the best player available. Quay Walker was not the best player available. Eric Stokes was not the best player available. So I don't believe and buy in to the Packers are only drafting based off who is the best player available. I think in the first round or their first pick that they've used in these drafts, a lot of those were based off of the need that they had.
I think those guys have been. I think this has been a pretty...
Lucas Van Ness was the best player available?
I believe he was the highest player on their board. A lot of people had him. Board. Turns out you miss on guys. But, Lucas Van Ness reminded me a heck of a lot of the Rashawn Gary pick they made. Athletic freak, doesn't necessarily have the stats.
Underperformed. Rashawn Gary was an underperformer. Lucas Van Ness wasn't even a starter. A full-time.
But that's just because Iowa does it weird. Iowa does it weird.
He can't start here.
He's going to be.
But just because. So for me, when I look at it and I think about that draft class where you had Christian Gonzalez and you had Jackson Smith and Jigba, who were both available, and you passed on those guys. Those guys had to be rated higher by most people going into the draft.
But again, I think what you have to remember is that anything you see from like Mel, and I think we got a stark reminder of this last year when Mel Kiper was the one stumping out there and getting upset about how people were disrespecting, Shedeur Sanders and how good he thought he was. Every team's going to have a different board, right? And yes, I think you heard Goody say it there. And Ted Thompson had said it. You hear Jason tell those stories all the time of how Ted Thompson said, the best player available, need factors in. If there's a tiebreaker, the need ends up being the tiebreaker. Because it's not like they have a board with players ranked 1 through 224. Mm-hmm. It's different grades that they have on players. And there's going to be a group of guys that they have similar grades on, which is if the Packers trade back, they probably have a group of guys that have similar grades or the same grade. And the reason why they're trading back is, hey, we're good with any of these guys. We're going to get more picks later. and we'll get one of the guys that we like on our board.
And I think the biggest thing for the Packers, what they have to understand, I don't think we're in a position to just sit here and draft the best available player. I think the Packers are in a position where you have to draft for needs. Your failures of the last couple of years to be able to re-sign some of your guys because they did not work out, as now that we're looking at that class of 2021, and now we're kind of shifting a little bit over to the class of 2022, where you had some hits. You had quite a few hits, but now, I mean, you're talking about your first-round draft pick, one of the two, who is officially gone in Quay Walker to another team. You got to make up for that. You made up for it with the trade that you had, but when you look at the cornerback position, because you didn't hit on Eric Stokes and you haven't drafted a corner high in these last couple of drafts, you have to draft a corner. Like, you literally have to.
Well, I think they will eventually, but if they've got a player, I don't think you have to reach in the second round.
No, so you have to draft a corner in the second or third round, or you're in trouble. You are in trouble because you're going to get the highest value that early.
But if the board doesn't fall that way, I don't think you have to. I don't think. Look, because the Packers have enough needs. Like, I can make a case, Kyle, that the Packers have needs at corner, defensive tackle, wide receiver, quarterback, offensive line, and running back.
Yeah,
I can make a case that they have needs at all of those positions.
But the needs aren't the same. And when I look at the cornerback position, you're talking about Carrington Valentine, that's now in a contract year that you may not be bringing back as a seventh round pick after this season, and Keyshawn Nixon, who you're not paying to be a number one corner, who I believe his contract ends at, this is the last year of his contract, and when I was listening, he has no guaranteed money on this contract either.
Keyshawn?
Yeah.
I mean, the base salary is, as long as he's on the roster, which he obviously will be, that's guaranteed.
But so to me, you're telling me is that you don't have a guy on this roster at the cornerback position that you believe in the long term is going to be your guy. It's going to be your number one corner. And so with that, you have to find somebody who can be that. And the earlier you draft a guy, the more upside that they have. That is exactly what the draft is all about. So that's why, to me, when you're talking about the second round, you're talking about the third round, the Packers must draft a cornerback. So I don't care about best player available.
What if there's a run on corners before the Packers pick? Well, run on corners. Now, the next corner is a third-round grade. Well, take him at 52?
I mean, Anthony Belton, most people thought was a reach last year, and the Packers seemed to reach for him last year. Lucas Van Ness, to from what I understand, is most people thought that was a little bit of reach for.
But I think what that tells you is that Goody, again, there are certain things, and people have kind of done the deep dives. Justice Mosqueda over Acme Packing Company, I think, is one of the best out there at doing it. And
that's finding what Strofe said as well.
He has kind of cracked into, and Justice has a background as a scout. He worked in the XFL in the second iteration of that, and he has kind of cracked the code on the type of player and athletes. Like, there are certain ranges in terms of athletic scoring, and that's why the combine stuff ends up being important that Goody likes to draft. And I think that, certain size requirements that Goody wants for certain players. And
so no 5'9" corners.
No.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree. Corner is the biggest need.
Yeah.
But also, if they draft a corner in the second round, I'm not just going to go, oh, they got a corner, I feel better about that position. You got to wait and see if that guy's any good.
Yeah, that's true, but that's what the draft is, right? But again, for me, when you haven't invested that amount of capital in the sense of draft pick being that high since 2021 with Eric Stokes, so you're talking about 5 drafts now, or I guess it's technically a 6th draft, that you haven't actually invested that high in a cornerback. You got to do it, and I'm going to have a little high hopes that this guy can start right away. That is.
Oh, I'm not expecting whoever they draft to start right away.
I expect in the second round when they draft that person that they are going to find the way, especially at the corner position. By the time you get halfway through the season, I want that guy to be the guy they're saying, "Oh man, it might be hard to take him off the field."
I guess I don't have those hopes, those same hopes, because that's a tough position.
But you told me, Javon Bullard played the nickel position right away, and he did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
at
he
that,
did.
Right?
He kind of started out at safety, and then they went
with Evan
oh
Williams,
crap,
right?
we got to figure out a way to get all these guys on the field, and then Bullard became the slot last year, which made the Nate Hobbs move even worse because Hobbs couldn't play outside. But St. Juice can. And they go inside Benjamin St. Are
you a St. Juice fan?
I'm not saying he's like the answer.
No, Gabe. No, see, this is what I need you to do. I don't need you to dance around it because if you say it, a lot of people will say, "Well, so it's Benjamin St. Juice." You feel good about him, don't you?
I don't feel good about him, but I feel better than. I think that a second round pick's going to have work to do in order to knock him off of being a starter. Yes.
That to me, I think that's good because most second round picks are when you draft them, you're projecting them to be a starter either that season or at some point in their career. And
I agree. But I also think that that's one of the toughest positions to play in the NFL.
That's true.
Coming in, facing some of these, especially some of these guys that exist in the division. You got to come in and try to guard Justin Jefferson right away. That's hard.
No, it is.
That's difficult.
It's a difficult task. It is a very difficult task, and that's why I'm very curious to see the adjustment for the defense that they have with Jonathan Gannon, because I know they're supposed to be playing more zone defense, right?
Well, they played a lot of zone this last year too.
So yeah, man, by need. But my whole thing is just looking at it is I'm very curious to know if they draft for that fit. If they're going to draft a guy out of college who's played a little bit more of that versus a guy that's played like press man or something.
Yeah, and look. I'm not saying I hope that they take a corner in the second or third round, but I guess I'm just not going to panic if that's just the way the board falls.
But that would mean that we're going into the season trusting a Keyshawn Nixon, trusting a Carrington Valentine, and trusting Benjamin St. Juice to be the guys we depend on throughout the whole season, and not to be the Achilles heel as the cornerback room we were iffy about last year.
Yeah, and I think the cornerback room is going to be iffy no matter who they draft in the second round, because chances are if you're drafting someone in the second round, they might turn out to be great. But it usually takes a little bit of time for him to be great.
Yeah, that's true. But
that's what
I guess. I guess I would have more prospects for just having more optimism for that position.
Oh yeah, and you need bodies. And Goody had said as much. Like they just need straight up bodies right now. I think Kamal Haddon, Shamar Bartholomew are the ones that are the backups after you get past the 3 guys we've already mentioned.
Which is Kamal. Hope he's doing all right.
Yeah,
brutal injury.
Yeah, that's a tough injury to be coming back from. And who knows what position Bo Melton plays?
Well, they just re-signed. He just signed his tender. So
yeah,
I'm very curious to know.
I don't know.
Is he still listed as a corner?
What do they need more? Do they need wide receiver depth or cornerback depth?
The answer is yes.
Yeah, I know.
The answer is yes.
So is he both or is he neither?
I mean, last year they moved him to corner because they thought the wide receiver room was too deep.
Well, if you're both, aren't you neither?
Yes. If Jacksonville has made the decision to move a Heisman Trophy winner who is trying to do both to specifically one side, maybe we'll sprinkle in some offense, but we're going to move Travis Hunter to corner. I think the Packers need to, make a similar decision when it comes to Bo Melton.
Yeah.
And I think that decision is pretty obvious to me.
Right receiver.
Yes, because he hasn't played a damn snap at cornerback.
And when the pressure came, when you had guys go down, you still didn't say, let's put Bo Melton out there. So it was all just a charade. It was a show.
Yeah, because he's never played corner in the NFL.
So, it's a tall task. And so And obviously, they're going to keep him on the roster because they value what he does on special teams.
I mean, he's still listed as a corner. Packers.com still has him listed as a cornerback.
That is, I tell you, again, the Packers just out here telling lies. Telling lies.
He's not a corner.
He's not a corner. He played more reps at wide receiver than corner last year. But yeah, we're having
because he played 0. He played 0 at corner, Kyle. He wasn't even practicing with the corners. He was practicing with the wide receivers at the end of the year.
Yeah, isn't that crazy, though, that what he's still listed as?
Yeah, no, he's a wide receiver.
It's crazy. So
he's a wide receiver.
I would wish that he would be more. I wish he was as good at corner as he was at wide receiver. Even though at wide receiver, he's just fine, right?
Yeah.
I would love for him to be just fine at corner. He'll be fitting right in with
But
that
that's
group.
an insane transition to try to make, which is why I thought he was going to get cut when they initially did it.
No, they refused to cut him. That's why they were trying to find a way to keep him on the roster. And he turned out. I know he had some. I can't remember which game it was, but he had a couple good catches.
Oh yeah, he ended up having had a couple of moments certainly. But yes, he is a wide receiver. More importantly, he's a special teamer. Like that's just what he is.
It's an investment the Packers claim that Goody claims they're making, in which I believe with signing of the kick returner that they got, Sky Moore and punt returners, that there has been a switch to making sure they're investing.
Kyle, are you more excited about the underwhelming signings of Benjamin St. Juste or Sky Moore? Which one are you more irrationally excited about?
Benjamin St. Juste.
Oh, for me, it's Sky Moore. It's Sky Moore, and I don't know if it's particularly close.
Like Sky Moore excites me, but I don't know. St. Juste.
St. Juste is just Nate Hobbs without the $sign and expectations.
I think that is just not fair to St. Juste.
I am just excited for Sky Moore because there were times last year where I had no idea who the hell was going to be back there returning a punt.
Oh, they were so bad.
I don't think who was the special teams coordinator?
Rich Bisaccia.
I don't think he knew half the time.
He said, go ahead.
Eventually, they just sent Romeo back. Is like, yeah, you can fair catch it. It'll be fine.
Just catch it.
Yeah, because they wanted somebody who could just catch it.
That's bad.
Yes, because they hadn't invested in that spot.
And now they did. So, I think, Gabe, this was a sneaky good offseason. Like, I understand there wasn't a big splash move, but I thought they brought in guys that were first and foremost veterans, which is something that they needed because it seems to be a lack of maturity inside that locker room, especially what you heard from Evan Williams at the end of the season when he was talking to Jason Wilde, where he said that he didn't think that team was mature. When you hear some things that came out from Matt LaFleur about some guys being, not happy about the roles on the team, it seems like there was a lot of lack of leadership, but also a lot of lack of maturity in that locker room. So bringing in guys who are veterans, I think will serve this team well.
A weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune into Here District with Marcus Johnson. The Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, who's a 1995 UCLA hoops champ himself. Talk about everything happening in the Bucks world and are joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. Plus, they'll answer your questions too. Stay on the beat of the Bucks. Find Here District now, Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're back after this on ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
Southbound on 43 continues a heavy ride from about Capitol Drive down through the Marquette interchange. Westbound 94's got a little bit of a backup as well, starting at 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound slows down just past Hawley Road, and that stays heavy past 35th. Now, we've also got some backups on the bypass from the westbound side from about 20th Street all the way pretty much to 68th. On the eastbound side, technically southbound, we got delays starting around Howard Avenue down through the Hale interchange, and that'll take you on and off the brakes all the way to about 60th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 62 at the lake, 70 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick. Your email said you had a big surprise. Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring. They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that? Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for. Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold.
evermore. Just $998.
Or $14.98 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Look around your office. Does it look like 1994 called and wants its lobby back?
Most brands just show up, often amongst outdated decor.
At Captivate Exhibits, ordinary space is the enemy. Beige walls, faded graphics, that motivational poster no one reads.
That's not culture, that's camouflage.
Captivate designs and build spaces that don't whisper, they speak. They spark conversations. People lean in.
Stop blending in and start captivating today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace, and April is the perfect time to reset your home for the long run. And Universal Windows Direct makes that decision so easy. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. Plus, you'll get 24 months with no payments and no interest. They're also offering a $500 bonus off your next home improvement project. Call 414-410-2000 or visit UniversalWindowsDirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
It was a successful trip down to Miami for the Brewers as they took 2 out of 3 games from the Marlins. In his Major League debut on Friday night, Coleman Crowe was phenomenal, going 5 1/3, allowing just 4 hits and 2 runs. Here's manager Pat Murphy on how his team has dealt with the injury bug.
We're battered. You guys can see that offensively. We've got 3 of our top 5 hitters out. And then the pitching injuries we've had also. You know, one of our top starters, one of our top relievers. You know, I'm not saying I'm satisfied or anything else. I'm proud of the club, the way they battle every game.
Up next, the crew will go to Detroit for a 3-game set against the Tigers. I'm Will Summers.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. This is ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I know it's ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week, and we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the draft, getting ready for Thursday, Friday here from 2 to 5 the rest of the week. But I do want to get this because today is the last day of the transfer portal for men's college basketball.
Oh, really?
Over 2,000 names in the portal, by the way. Marquette did add a couple of transfers, so shout out to Shaka.
Wow, we're starting with Marquette here. This usually is a Badger show.
Yeah, but guess who's leading this thing right now? Yeah, there we go, Kyle. Yeah, there we go.
Jump ship.
So Marquette adding Sonata Frew from Louisville, and then they added Nolan Minasale, who is a Wisconsin kid, went to Marquette University High School, now comes back, transfers to Marquette.
He was good. He was a state champion here at Marquette High, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good player, transferring in from St. Thomas. But the big one here is this from Jeff Borzello, who is the ESPN College Basketball Insider. Wisconsin transfer John Blackwell has committed to Duke. He told ESPN. And the quote that he had, Blackwell on Duke's pitch, "Come here, have freedom. You can come here and be a draft pick. That's always been my dream. Come here, help us win a national championship. I love the campus. I love the people surrounding Duke. That's why I made my choice to be a Blue Devil."
I mean, credit to him, because when you think about John Blackwell coming out of college, I think like Michigan or Michigan State, one of the schools did not offer him, or he ended up finding his way to Wisconsin, right? And so obviously Duke wasn't knocking on his door. And to fast forward only 3 seasons and now going into his senior year, and basically you have one of the top universities in the country knocking at your door, asking you to transfer there for your senior year, understanding that they don't just get guys because they're good at basketball, they bring in high-character guys. That speaks volumes. I mean, you think about us growing up as kids. If Duke knocked on our door for basketball, a lot of us would, answer. And we've seen here in Wisconsin, we had our top player in Conca Nipple go to Duke. We had our top player go to Kentucky. Like, when these blue bloods knock on your door, it's
I
hard
think
to say no.
Seth Trimble went to UNC.
And
it's hard to say no to those schools, I think.
You can't say no.
But I guess it just makes me think, when it comes to the Wisconsin, because this isn't the first time this has now happened to Wisconsin, where they bring in a kid, they have a tremendous offensive year, and then they transfer to a different school, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, I just want to make sure, because to me, that says more about the financials that they have to offer kids than anything else, right? Does everybody else kind of feel the same way? To me, that's what it said. It doesn't reflect, like, I see him saying he wants to compete for the national championship, be a draft pick, and that's all well and good. And yes, Duke is probably going to be a top 10 team next year, probably a top 5 team in the preseason AP because they're Duke, and that's what they do. They get a lot of this top talent. But I don't see John Blackwell going there and saying these things about Duke. I'm guessing he would have stuck around at Wisconsin for another year had they had the money to pay him whatever Duke ultimately pays him.
You don't think some of this, obviously Duke probably paid him a lot of money, but you don't think some of this does have to do with the fact that he has a rare opportunity to transfer out, get paid, but also pick and choose if he wants to go to a national title contender? One thing that he doesn't know is he doesn't know what it feels like to basically make it to the Sweet 16 because the Wisconsin Badgers have not done that under him. Yeah. And so he's probably lost hope and faith that this might have been his best shot with Wisconsin. When you look at it, the way they were humming, the teams...
Maybe not. I mean, Gard's done a good job of getting guys like this into the program.
I mean, but when I think about it, it's hard to top this season. You beat the national champion, and then you took them to the ropes, in the Big Ten tournament as well. So it's going to be hard to top something like that. And my nervousness is... Last year, it felt like you still kept John Blackwell, you still kept Nolan Winter, so you felt like you had something there and you wanted to add to the roster. You lose John Blackwell, and you also have Nick Boyd, who you brought in last year. Now you got to really fill a lot of voids, and I'm not sure if they were able to fill those voids when you say tomorrow's the last day?
Today it closes. So you gotta make those announcements of who you're bringing in today.
I hope there's some announcements coming out of Wisconsin. Because Marquette kept their top guy.
Yeah, they did, and they made those announcements pretty quick. They kept their top 3 that they clearly wanted to build around. Nigel James Jr. stuck around, and Royce Parham deciding to stick around, obviously, as well. So I look at this as, okay, maybe the national championship thing, clearly true. But you can't tell me that, come here, be a draft pick. You obviously can be a top draft pick at Wisconsin. It just happened with Johnny Davis not that long ago.
Yeah, but I mean, Duke does have a lot of different mystique around it and development opportunities.
The reason why guys are going number 1 or going high in the draft, it's not because
how well they perform their senior year in college is usually.
Well, I mean, the name next to them, it's more about the player, right? Like great players and draft picks can literally come from anywhere.
But most great players and draft picks do typically go to these blue bloods, not just because it's like, they're going to develop you.
But
they will.
Cooper Flagg didn't go number 1 overall just because he went to Duke.
Correct. He was going number 1 overall just about anywhere he went.
Had he gone to Hofstra, he was going number 1 overall. He was Cooper Flagg.
Okay. He was looked at as a generational talent.
Now, John Tonje wasn't going to get drafted until he went to Wisconsin and did what he did.
Well, A.J. DeBonza, if he goes to maybe a blue blood instead of BYU, because he's still going top 3, right?
Yeah,
it's a good draft.
If he goes to Duke and he plays for Duke, do you think he, instead of them talking about Boozer maybe now being a guy that might be a top pick, you think that's him being a top pick if he goes to Duke? Obviously, again, he's going to be a top pick.
Yeah, I mean, he could go number 1 overall.
He still could. But if he goes to Duke and he has a good season like he did at BYU, do you think the conversation shifts a little bit?
No, because he's still an incredibly good player.
Right. Yeah, okay. I think he's sometimes there's some bias towards if you go to a bigger school, then you get more appreciation and more love.
Yeah, but again, the Big 12 is really good this year, and if you're a really good player, it's harder to hide as a really good player now. Whether it's high school or college, because of all the different ways there are to find players, right? So I look at this as more of, again, and I'm personally not a fan of the state of Wisconsin giving more money to the University of Wisconsin.
Oh, you didn't like your $6 being taken either.
No.
Yeah.
Because that's indirectly funding their NIL. Indirectly, because it's freeing up other money for them to do and pay athletes, right? Yeah. But I guess if you are a fan of Wisconsin athletics, that you're hoping that type of money can help you keep someone like this in the future.
I haven't heard, Gabe, I haven't heard too many people excited about that.
Yeah, something doesn't feel right about it.
It doesn't feel right whatsoever. Marquette isn't getting the same amount of money. They're just working hard.
Yeah, but they're a private school, right? And there's different rules for private and public. But to me, it's just like, because they also threw a couple bucks towards Milwaukee, Green Bay.
$250,000.
Yeah, just sprinkling some money for them, right? And
hey, Dougie's going to do a lot with that money.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Up at Green Bay.
I'm sure Dougie would have appreciated a little more.
I'm sure he would have.
Shocked he didn't complain. I'm getting peanuts.
I think he knows where.
There's a credit card joke to be made somewhere in here.
You don't need to. I mean, it's years ago. We need to be making Doug Gottlieb credit card jokes in the year 2026.
Gabe, I don't know if you know this. I'm not a very original comedian. Takes a lot of time to practice my material.
Don't know if we need to do that. Work on your LVN jokes because we're going to get to his fifth-year option. Goody talked about that. That's next. ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
More coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
There are over 700,000 people in the Wisconsin retirement system, from the entire UW system to local police, firefighters, and publicly employed teachers. A powerful program, but you might have questions. Join Annex Wealth Management on Thursday, April 23rd at 1 p.m. for a free webinar. WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and experts from Annex will explore scenarios and answer your WRS questions live. No sales pressure, just education. Understand your WRS potential. Thursday, April 23rd at 1 p.m. Click events at annexwealth.com.
An epic Brewers Pirates series is coming April 24th through the 26th. Kick it off with Star Wars Night on Friday the 24th. And check out a post-game laser show presented by ESPN Milwaukee. Then on Saturday the 25th, get a Brewers Windbreaker giveaway courtesy of Quartz. Wrap up the series with Family Sunday fun and kids cheer free. Plus, the first 5,000 kids take home an Abner Uribe poster. Grab a seat at Brewers.com.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property, it's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal & Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof, it's where life happens. At Grimal & Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
The Run for the Roses is coming to St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join us Saturday, May 2nd for the Kentucky Derby Day in partnership with Woodford Reserve. Watch the race live, sip on specialty cocktails including the classic mint julep, and dress to impress. Best hat and best dress contests are on the card. Admission is free, or you can upgrade to VIP for $75 for exclusive food stations and 2 complimentary cocktails. Visit stkatearts.com to RSVP or grab your tickets at stkatearts.com.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Summertime is when you'll find the largest selection of homes on the market.
But it's the bottom of the ninth, as it's also the time when homes move the quickest.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Andrea Woshinski. With more buyers competing, preparation, speed, and expert local guidance can make all the difference.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service at wendorfteam.kw.com.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
A real estate team driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination, with a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do,
you can't beat Burkhardt.
153rd and National. If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Gorilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do,
you can't beat Burkhardt.
This is ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Shout out to Ryan from Maguanago on the Cardless Talk and text line 800-990-3776, correctly pointing out that today is the last day to enter, not commit. So today's the last day to enter the transfer portal.
Okay, so when
a lot of people have committed that have been in the transfer portal Marquette announcing some of those guys, but today's the last day to enter the transfer portal.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better about Wisconsin because I feel like they still have some work to be done.
They've added 3 guys, one from George Washington, one from Hofstra, which I referenced last segment, and one from Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, played on that undefeated team.
Some size. They've added some size.
Now they need a guard, don't they?
The kid from George Washington's a guard. But they could use John Blackwell and Nick Boyd replacement. So
yeah, Marquette once got a pretty good transfer in from George Washington.
He was decent.
That
was Tyler Cole.
Yeah, what's his face?
Yeah.
The guy who won Big East Player of the Year.
I wasn't going to say the other identifier.
Come on, man.
I mean, I'm trying to think of it.
Come on, man. What are we doing? Yeah, Tyler Kolek, Big East Player of the Year.
Yeah.
It's a name that should just roll off the
Kyle,
tongue.
what's the other qualifier you were referring to?
I was going to say the cold white point guard from Marquette. What you mean?
Cold.
He was cold.
He was.
Still is.
He was.
Still is. And when he transferred in.
I can't believe he doesn't get more run on that team for the Knicks.
When he transferred in, he exceeded any expectation you all had, did he not?
Well, yeah, I mean, you thought he was going to be good. Did I think that someday he was going to win Big East Player of the Year?
Right, he was a baller.
No. Did I think he was going to lead the team to regular season and tournament conference victories? No, did not.
Because he played for 2 years at Marquette, right?
Played 3.
3?
Mm-hmm. Played 3. Because he transferred him after his freshman year. Yeah, he ended up having a tremendous all-time Marquette great. Tyler Kolek. As far as the Packers go, though, one little other bit of news today when it comes to Lucas Van Ness. Strofe, what did he have to say? What did the Packers general manager have to say about LVN?
Yeah, the question was, have you made a decision on Lucas Van Ness's 5th-year option? Brian Gutekunst's response.
We're working through that. I think it's May 1st. We got to do that, so we'll do that in the appropriate time.
What's the whole? I don't want to say hold up, but why? I mean, a lot of teams have made the decision. What do you got to decide for the next week on him?
I haven't talked to him about it yet. Just got here yesterday, so.
Great follow-up by Bill. Bill Huber with the follow-up there.
We got our answer.
So
I don't want to call it a hold-up, but what's the hold-up?
So that's a no, right? That's a I just haven't told him that we're not picking up the 5th-year option. That's what that means.
I mean, he should be looking in the mirror to figure out why he continues to have these guys that he's not giving their 5th-year option that he drafted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for some of them, again, for Quay, it made sense to me because you didn't want to commit the type of money because the way they do linebackers for the 5th-year option, like guys who are pass rushers and outside linebackers, it's just one position. Right? So, like Micah Parsons, technically he's going to be an outside linebacker this year. That money gets factored into whatever you end up paying in that 5th-year option.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
So you didn't want to pay a linebacker all that guaranteed money. I get that.
In his defense, I guess last year was around April 30th that they picked up the option for Devontae Wyatt. So I guess we should be finding out here within the next week.
I think we just found out, Kyle.
I mean, yeah, we sure did.
Because if it was, oh, yeah, we're going to pick that up, it would have been, yeah, we're going to pick that up. And he doesn't care how Lucas Van Ness finds out because Lucas Van Ness is going to have a bunch of guaranteed money coming his way, and LVN doesn't care.
And you want to lock somebody like that in, right?
Yeah.
You obviously say, yeah, we want to keep him long term, but when you don't say you want to give somebody a 5th-year option, you end up playing in the same limbo that you had last year when you're talking about Quay Walker. So, but it would be foolish to pick up that option.
100%.
That option would be $14 million next year or something like that, or
For
more,
sure.
$15 million, something like that. It might be more than that. I mean, it's undeserved.
Well, and the problem is, unless you sign them to some sort of long-term contract extension, you're locked into that number. That's the cap number, right? Because it's a fully guaranteed deal. And I think they learned their lesson the hard way with Savage because they picked up that option, and then he played so terribly his 4th year. Like, crap, all right, I guess we're kind of locked into this. Just $9 million full send for Darnell Savage.
And there's no way you can do that for Lucas Van Ness.
No, he has not done enough.
And so we'll see. He's worth the gamble on because he hasn't been healthy. So we'll see. But when I say gamble on him being a free agent next year.
I mean he's if he goes out and plays, I'm sure plays well. The Packers would happily pay him.
Yep.
But you can't do that right now. I think it would be irresponsible to give him the 5th-year option. And I think you're going to see in the coming days here after the draft that the Packers have not picked up the 5th-year option on Lucas Van Ness. This is ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
We've got a crash now, eastbound 94 at Hawley Road. It's off on the right shoulder, so be careful with that. We got backups coming in from 76th Street, past that point all the way to 35th. On the westbound side, slowing down just before 27th Street, all the way to Hawley Road as well. We got southbound 43, a heavy ride just before Capitol Drive, stretching all the way down through the Marquette, down to the KK River crossing. On the northbound side, we've got delays basically from Kilbourne all the way up past North Avenue. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 62 at the lake, 70 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
How are things at Kessler's Greenfield, Kelly?
Fantastic. I heard you have an idea for springtime. I love spring. I have a big collection of new life to show you.
New life is a spring thing.
Show us. I call it crosses and clovers. These are amazing. Well done, Kelly.
These are stunningly unique.
Kelly, the surface of this four-leaf clover is fantastic. What's it made of? Sarah, the surface of that lucky four-leaf clover is made of crushed black diamonds. Wow. I'm buying this one. How much? $185. In yellow gold vermeil, it's just $270. This cross, $90.
And these initials pendants?
These are $60.
Clovers, crosses, and personalized pendants.
And a leprechaun that says they're magically delicious. Sarah, that's a breakfast cereal.
Kelly, you've done well.
Extremely well. Extremely very well. Happy springtime, everyone.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. The biggest event of the offseason. Franchise-changing picks.
Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback to California.
League-shaking moves.
The Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State.
This is ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
The Green Bay Packers select
We will get to plenty of Packers stuff. I'm sure we'll do that with Homer as he joins us here in about a half hour. But it seems like we can't go a day now with the Bucs season being over without somebody talking. Like somebody just always has to consistently talk. First, it was Miles Turner on a podcast I didn't even know he had, by the way.
Everybody loves podcasts.
Yeah, but he's got his own podcast now. Him and Stewie. So he talked about the Shams article and how, it's like Shams had a recorder in the room. And you had Bobby Portis talking about, the end of the season. And he joins on FanDuel with Michelle Beadle and Chandler Parsons. And I can't remember the third host of that show. But you had Bobby talking. And then you had Giannis going on the Goran Dragic podcast talking about the end of the season.
They're not used to having their season being ended this early.
Yeah, right? So now finally, Doc Rivers has spoken. Now, there is no audio that goes along with this one. He conducted an interview with ESPN and Anscape's Mark J. Spears, and Mark has covered the league for a long time, has a lot of regular relationships, and it seems like has a pretty good relationship with Doc as well. And Doc dives into a number of different things, kind of talked about how it kind of seemed like he knew early that this could be his last season. Wasn't looking forward to training camp as much as he has in the past, and obviously the season was kind of a drag, and maybe realized he probably should have retired maybe a year too late, is if I'm reading between the lines.
He already retired and he came back out of retirement.
Yeah, well, the first retirement didn't stick long. But the interesting thing here is Doc did talk about the whole Giannis saga of the season, saying, quote, "It wore on everyone. I don't even know how it could have been handled different or not. I have a lot of compassion for Giannis. I think everybody knows that because I do think he has the right to change his mind. He has the right to want to stay. The dude won a title for the franchise. And if he wants to stay in Milwaukee for his whole career, and even if they don't win and they don't get the right guys, it should be his choice. There used to be a time where players were celebrated for that, for being loyal and staying. And then if he wants to leave, he has the right to do that too. He's going to be a free agent in a year. I just didn't like all the talk all year because no one knew what they were talking about because Giannis didn't know. He felt one way, and then he would change the next week. But I kept telling him, but that's okay. It's a huge decision for him. And I think what that also sheds a light on, Kyle, is kind of the inconsistencies of all the different reports and Giannis and all these different things. At least according to this quote here from Doc, it seems like Giannis was changing his mind about whether or not he should stay or whether or not he should go. And that probably continues today. Is it something he's obviously wrestling with?
He 100% is wrestling with it as he sent out a thank you note to Milwaukee on social media yesterday, which makes a lot of people say, uh-oh, what does that mean? And, for me, when I hear that, it basically confirms the report that Giannis did ask to be traded because a lot of times people were trying to say Giannis never asked to be traded. His future was never in limbo. He was always locked in and focused on Milwaukee. And so this, to me, exposes that Giannis doesn't know where he wants to be. And I agree with Doc Rivers for once, is that is okay. But I don't like all this noise coming out. I don't like when you have one bad season for the first time in basically a decade. Everybody's talking. Even the head coach is talking, or former head coach. And what's interesting to me about Doc Rivers is he didn't get fired. He stepped down, but didn't they say he might be in a front office role or something like that?
Maybe. They're still discussing that.
He said they. That's pretty quick to drop we to be they if you're going to be potentially in the front office or have some type of advisory role with the team. So overall, I do think for a lot of fans who may still be living in La La Land and think that Giannis is going to stay, I don't think there's any way that Giannis stays. I mean, I really don't. And most of everything that we've seen have pointed to the direction of him not staying. And if a guy is thinking about leaving, if he's already thinking about it, that means he's evaluated exactly all the cons of staying in Milwaukee. And I may love Milwaukee. I'm born and raised here, but the cons list outweighs the pros list when it comes to staying with Milwaukee. Milwaukee, as Doc just said, they ain't building a championship around Giannis this year or next year.
And that's the tough part, right? Is it seems like Giannis could potentially, based on, again, what he said on the Goran Dragic podcast, he called, in that social media post, he called Milwaukee my city, with my in all caps, Kyle. So I still don't think he knows what he wants.
No, I don't think he...
But I think he wants to compete, and he wants to see if the Bucks can put a contender together. And I don't know... I doubt the Bucks can do that based on, yes, they have no access to their draft picks. We'll know what exactly number draft pick that is relatively soon after the draft lottery, what they own this year, and then they're able to trade 2 more draft picks. They'll have 3 available draft picks on draft night to trade to potentially try to add to the roster, and maybe they still like some of the pieces, and a different coach can just make those pieces work together better than Doc did this year. But it's a lot of ifs right now in those statements in terms of trying to convince Giannis to stick around. Yeah. And the problem with this whole thing ultimately becomes the timeline. Giannis is going to have the most value to be traded on draft night. Mm-hmm. And every day after that, the price you're going to get for him goes down. And if you're going to wait all the way until October 1st,
be foolish
for him to say yes or no and not having any idea, his draft value on October 2nd isn't anywhere near what it's going to be in the middle of July.
It's in the best interest of the Bucks organization to trade Giannis now versus waiting till October, and it's in the best interest of Giannis to leave. And the thing is we know Giannis wants to leave, and yeah, this is his city, but it's hard to depart from a city, the only city you've known as being in America, the only place that you truly lived is right here in Milwaukee. So the only thing that's tearing him apart is the fact that that loyalty piece that Doc Rivers talked about is he feels like he's abandoning a place. But he understands that in his mind, he knows his opportunities to win a championship do not lie here in the city of Milwaukee. Like it is in the best interest of that man's career to leave. And when you think about it for the Bucks, you cannot risk Giannis saying, oh yeah, I'm not going to sign the extension, and you get to October 1st. And now you have a guy that can leave free willy-nilly and you can get nothing back in compensation.
Well, they made it very clear. Wes Edens made it very clear. Either he signs or he's traded.
Yeah, so
you're not going to get. And again, you're going to want to know what draft picks you're getting in return, along with the young players. And you don't want to wait until after free agency's open and closed because that kind of like the Packers got Micah Parsons at a discount last year.
Yep.
Because of when Micah Parsons got traded, the list of teams that could afford to take on the contract he currently had could still give him the contract that he wanted. Like, that list was shorter than what the list of teams would have been had Jerry decided to trade Micah Parsons in March at the beginning of free agency. Mm-hmm. So before the draft and all those sorts of things. So it's the same principle, but it's applied to Giannis, and they're just going to have more conversations than they typically do. Because from my understanding, Kyle, the way this typically works is Giannis goes off the grease. Yeah, they have contact, but John Horst, the front office, put together a roster and go, hey, do you think this is, this is what we're doing? They obviously keep him in the loop.
Yep.
But from my understanding, it's not like they're calling Giannis every time they might be talking to someone. They just kind of make some of the moves and go, hey, this is what we're going to do, in hopes that, this is going to convince him. And again, it's not a coincidence that the previous times he has signed the Supermax extension to stick around in Milwaukee came shortly after moves. Whether it was for Drew Holiday, whether it was for Damian Lillard, he signed shortly after those moves were eventually made.
We are far beyond one move away from potentially being a champion.
Oh, 100%.
The Damian Lillard trade was your last-ditch effort to try to put together some type of pieces in order to compete for a title. You're way past that. And again, that's my whole point, is that Giannis isn't blind. We shouldn't play this game. If I'm running the Bucks organization, I'm having a conversation with Giannis and saying, Giannis, listen, we ain't going to be good again next year, but we going to start trying to build some stuff around it. And before we commit to maybe trading more draft capital or moving some more pieces around, we need to know right now whether or not you're going to be with the Milwaukee Bucks. If he says, I don't know, then you make that decision. You do. You cannot wait. And again, I honestly believe it is in the best interest for the future for the Bucks to move on, because I don't trust John Horst to put together a good enough team to build around Giannis in the next 3 years.
I guess that's where I vehemently disagree.
You think the Bucks can put together a championship?
I don't, but I also don't think that whatever they get in return from Giannis trade is worth anywhere near what Giannis actually brings to the franchise.
I get it financially. I 100% get it. And when you look at
or even just interest. Like the second Giannis walks out the door, the Bucks become irrelevant for a decade.
Yeah, no.
Best case scenario, it's a decade.
I wouldn't say the one thing that you have, right? Because this is territory we've never been in as Bucks fans and living here in Milwaukee. Because back when Kareem left, the trades were different, right? You traded a lot of bodies for bodies, and now you have an opportunity. If you make this deal, you're talking about adding draft picks, and the Bucks are gonna be bad too. And eventually, the Bucks are thinking like 2030, have more control of their draft picks, maybe 2029, but over the next 5 years, the Bucks might not be great, but they're going to have a lot of shots at it. Giannis allows you to get maybe 3, maybe 4 first-round picks. They give you multiple cracks at trying to draft more guys in the first round. And so that's why
Which is all well and good, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis is a top 20 player in NBA history.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet just about everything I got that they ain't going to find another top 20 player in NBA history with all those draft picks.
They may not find Giannis, but they can find winning again, right? Like, Cade Cunningham will never be a Giannis Antetokounmpo, but Detroit is excited that they got their guy in Cade, right? You look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, they traded for Donovan Mitchell. They got Evan Mobley. They got these guys on the roster. None of those guys are the caliber of Giannis, but they put together a team of guys that gets fans to show up, a team of guys that's winning basketball games. If the Bucks can find themselves by 2030, well, that's crazy because it's 2026. If they can find themselves by 2030, once again competing for a 4, 5, 6 seed in the NBA playoffs, I think that means we're looking.
That's irrelevance in the NBA, man. That's irrelevance in the NBA.
But you're still irrelevant when Giannis, as you saw this past season, though he was beat up and injured, the team was out of playoff contention.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to be contending by 2030, your best chance is that Giannis is still on this roster. That's the best chance you got.
But Giannis in 2030, Giannis would be like 37.
I mean, how many draft picks have we seen the Bucks in our lifetime, Kyle?
Hey, a lot of Bucks.
They were bad. They were bad in the 90s. A lot of top picks.
The 90s, they were bad in the 2000s.
You remember Gary Trent?
Gary Trent from back in
excuse me. They traded him for Sean Respert.
Okay, That was in the 90s.
95, 95. I'm talking about Sean Respert. I'm talking about Tractor Trailer.
Now that's where you got me there, Tractor Trailer.
No, you want to talk about you want to talk about Joe Alexander?
Or Joe Presbilla.
You want to talk about Joe Presbilla? You want to talk about some of these other draft busts they've had?
We can keep going.
TJ Ford?
Yeah, Marcus Hayslip.
In his shorts?
Yeah.
Marcus Hayslip, that's another great one.
Again, we can keep going down the list, but I would say now is that the difference between a lot of those is most of those guys are falling like, 7 to 15. And it just seems now every year the NBA draft, these rookies are that much better now, right? You find a couple rookies that are playing a lot better, showing some bright spots. And if the Bucks bottom out, which they may end up doing that, they're going to have some shots at it. This year, the Bucks are probably going to end up with a top 10 pick. They are. If you get really lucky, you get a top 3 pick. That means the Pelicans and you ended up.
Yeah, I mean that would be so incredibly lucky.
Yeah, but that would be something that you.
I think there's less than a 1% chance of that happening.
If that happens,
that's correct.
Jumping for joy.
Oh, yeah. If the Pelicans and Bucks are in the top 3.
I thought Kyle was going to say you're going to have a top 10 pick, and if you're lucky, you're going to have a top 9 pick.
Because that's also true.
Yeah.
So if you're lucky, you'll have a top 9 pick.
But I when I look at this,
man, I you know what? Because then the Bucks would have the number 3 pick, and I don't want the number 3 pick. Because it's probably Darren Peterson. I want nothing to do with that guy.
I also want nothing to do with him.
You know what I'm interested about Darren Peterson? I think Darren just understood that this right now, college was just a stopgap. I'm getting paid. He ain't going to do that in the NBA.
Do you know who that reminds me of?
Who's that?
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I mean,
remember Ben Simmons at LSU?
Yeah.
But the money
he was just basically
the fake money. That was the under table money.
But he was like, "Oh, I just need to be here." Like he didn't go to class at all his second semester because he didn't care.
Would he go to class?
He didn't have to.
Gabe,
He
ineligible for next year.
went through the motions so much on the floor, kind of like Peterson did. Like, because you knew you're going to be a top pick. And how'd that work out for Ben Simmons?
I think that part of your argument is fine. I have no problem with that.
The class thing, forget about it, right? Like, it's not that big of a deal.
We're in the era of NIL, baby. Nobody's going to class anymore.
You got to have somewhat of a transcript if you're transferring.
Kids are going to class. Do you know who his brother is?
Who?
Darren Peterson.
No.
Daryl Peterson from the Badgers.
Really?
That's his big brother.
Had no idea.
Athletic family.
Yeah.
Extremely athletic family.
Again, I just wish you would have handled things in Kansas a little bit different.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, I would hope that he would turn it around.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be the one having to hope for that for my team.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm looking forward to that. But something else I'm looking forward to, Gabe, is I'm looking forward to my custom jewelry and custom ring from Paul's Jeweler. Listen, if you are looking to propose like I did, or you already did the big proposal and you're looking for your wedding band, you should do what I did and go to Paul's Jewelers. What they're doing right now, their team, Mitch over there, they are hooking me up. I'm looking for a gold band with diamonds in it, and he said, I got you. And he showed me all the different mock-ups, and literally he's sending me pictures of them making the ring, custom making the ring, because it's one of a kind jewelry that is meant for you for your special occasion. When you have a custom built ring and that is just for you and your fiance, you know that is exactly what your love is about. It's about you two having that one-of-a-kind piece. And what I love about Paul's Jewelers, they also specialize in lab-grown and traditional mined diamonds as well. And I love the price point. I love their showroom. I love the special pieces. And they're also working on a coffee shop. The 7 Seeds of Cafe grand opening is coming in the month of May. So we're so excited about that to go visit that. But I'm telling you this right now. If you are looking to make that big decision and make that jump and buy a ring, I'm telling you, Paul's Jewelers is the place to go. They'll make you feel comfortable. They'll make you feel confident. But more importantly, they make sure you get exactly what you want. So go ahead and head out to West Dallas to Paul's Jewelers, and I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Let them know Kyle sent you, and I guarantee you they'll give you a big hug. Visit Paul's Jewelers today in West Dallas.
More coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
Southbound on 41, we've got backups from Highway 145 all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound's backed up from Watertown Plank Road up to Burleigh. We've got southbound 43 also hitting the brakes just before Capitol Drive, and that stretches all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. The northbound side is slowing down over the high-rise bridge all the way up to North Avenue. And then on the bypass heading southbound, slowing from just south of the Zoo Interchange to Lincoln, and then back on the brakes from Oklahoma Avenue around the Hale Interchange to 76th. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Partly cloudy skies, low of 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 62 at the lake, 70 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Yeah, coaching matters a lot, and we've fallen short. Those are the facts. Matt LaFleur's on the clock, man. And I know he got an extension, but I'll say this. If they revert and don't get better, you're evaluated on your results.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Everybody knows, it's championship or bust. That is what Green Bay is. And unfortunately, we've had 15 years of bust.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Looking for a better spot for your next team outing or client meeting? Welcome to Veer North, Milwaukee's upscale sports bar, designed for more than just game day. It's ESPN Milwaukee's Alex Stroh. Veer North, located on Milwaukee's east side, your go-to for catching the big game, happy hour, or your next group outing. This is more than your average sports bar. Elevated food, craft cocktails, and a modern atmosphere. Perfect for off-site meetings and entertaining clients. And when the game's on, you've got the best seat in the house. Veer North, Milwaukee's east side destination for business and game day alike.
Hail damage? Siding Unlimited is here to help. We are not the storm chasers. That's important. Siding Unlimited doesn't chase storms. However, if the storm comes into our area like it just did, we're always available to help. Why is that important? Storm chasers skip town, leaving you with a roof with zero warranty. Siding Unlimited uses a roofing system that will get you a 50-year warranty on parts, pieces, and workmanship. Siding Unlimited will be there if you have a call down the road. Siding Unlimited is your local family partner on this project. We're here for you. Visit sidingunlimited.com today, but definitely stop by Siding Unlimited's open house on Saturday, April 25th from 9 to 1 p.m.
Take it home this April at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. $300,000 is on the line, and you're at bat to win your share. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your April drawing entries all count toward another prize drawing in June. It's the Base Race Game Show. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Homer here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. Been on the journey since January, over 3 months, down 26 pounds today. If you're looking for a safe and easy program that will actually help you keep the weight off, this is it. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. And for a limited time, get $200 off with the spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
This is ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We'll talk plenty of Packers and draft when Homer is scheduled to join us here in about 10 minutes. But there was an article today on the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel from Kurt Hogg, who's one of the Brewers beat writers for the Journal-Sentinel, because I think this was a question a lot of Brewers fans had when it came to Bryce Terang. The title of the article is Bryce Terang Interested in an Extension. Here's what he said. So, of course, kind of setting the table. Cooper Pratt signed his 8-year deal. Obviously, the Brewers have gotten some extensions done with players, not necessarily just in the Cooper Pratt or Jackson Chourio vein. I think of the contract that they had signed before, they traded Freddie Peralta. They had signed him to a pretty team-friendly deal where he still ended up making a good amount of money, even though he had been in the big leagues for a couple of seasons. And Bryce, who's now in his 4th year, and seems like he is taking another step here, Kyle. Like he is taking a step into superstardom. We're talking about All-Star, MVP candidate. Again, teammates at the World Baseball Classic. We're just, this guy's going to be a 30-30 guy someday. So he was asked, is he interested in an extension? I think every player is interested in it if it's the right number. It's the best thing for them and their family. I mean, you're always open ears as a player. Goes on to say that, the Brewers have not approached him with any numbers or anything like that. And then, later in the article, Kurt just kind of taking a look at what this could be, what the contract could potentially look like, comparing what it would look like to buy out the arbitration years, maybe, buy out some free agency years as well. Kind of speculating 5 years, $90 to $100 million, which would typically, kind of be the contract that Kurt kind of figures could get this done. And again, that seems cheap. But also he's got arbitration years left, and typically those aren't big money years. Yes, they can be worth a decent amount, but, again, 5 years, $100 million, I think that would be hard for Bryce Terang to say no to, but I also don't think the Brewers are offering him a 5-year, $100 million deal anytime soon.
Yeah, I think it would be something, if I'm the Brewers and thinking about him really coming into his prime right now, I think it would be a great thing for the Milwaukee Brewers to do, especially with Christian Yelich is on his way out. Like, I think we can all kind of agree with the recent years. He's not been able to stay very healthy. He's 34 now. Like, he's not going to play baseball forever. And you do need a new face of your organization. You locked up Jackson Chourio, and being able to lock up a guy like Bryce Terang, I think, would be advantageous for these Milwaukee Brewers. So, I mean, I think it would be smart on the Brewers to lock in a guy who right now, as you just talked about how all his teammates on Team USA raved about him, he's playing really well this year. But on top of that, he can probably have, some really good 5 seasons after this.
So Yelich does have this year, next year, and 2028. 2029 is a $20 million mutual option. So both the Brewers and Yelly would have to pick that up. Which,
so that's 38 season, the age of 38?
That would be his age 37 season in 2029.
Yeah.
And then he would be, at 38, he would be a free agent.
Retired. Based off the way his body is functioning, retired.
I mean, again, if he continues to put up the numbers he put up last year, like, he could play baseball still for, again, not this type of money, but you never know. I mean, by the end of the Ryan Braun contract, it was about what Ryan Braun was worth based on the numbers he was putting up. And, yeah, it was expensive. But
Bronny retired at about 35. He was retired, wasn't he?
Something like that.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
So he was done so.
But, yeah, the Brewers have all these infielders, right? And I feel like everyone's getting excited about Jesus Mate and what he's doing. Obviously, everyone's excited about the Cooper Pratt contract that they gave him. And, yeah, you got to figure some stuff out. But I see Bryce, and I would sign up for 5 years, $100 million.
He's a significant piece for the future. When you're talking, you bringing up the prospects, which all Brewers fans should be really excited about the future. Bryce Terang is a piece. He's one of those guys where, yes, you can move on from some people, and we've seen that's what the Brewers do. Bryce Terang is a guy that can be a staple of what the next iteration of what the Milwaukee Brewers are going to be. If you want to talk about winning World Series, you can't just continue to funnel out these young guys. You have to find guys that are actually good and they're young. You struck gold with Bryce Terang, ended up working out with him, so you keep him around. Joey Ortiz, he's not going to be around too much longer because you know exactly what that's going to be. You got to figure out what you're going to do at third base as well, but Bryce Terang is going to be a staple of that infield, and as you bring in some younger guys to be around him, you want to make sure that you can have a leader and somebody who's been there in the playoffs multiple times. That's what Bryce Terang can be. You need to have that leadership.
I just look at Bryce as, like, if you're only going to sign one guy to, like, this big money deals, which is typically what the Brewers done, right? They had Braun, then they signed Yelich to the long-term one. And yes, this year, Woody's making a ton of money because he signed his qualifying offer.
Did.
But, like, if there's going to be one guy, I think Bryce would be the guy I would want to sign next.
Yeah, 100%. He should be the guy the Brewers sign next. If I'm Mark Antanasio, that is what I'm thinking about. I'm saying, all right, he's the guy that we need to give that contract to. And I think that would be good for the Brewers moving forward.
Yeah.
Gabe, I don't know about you. This year we'll see, but I believe the Brewers World Series window officially opens up next year.
Well, you don't think this year?
We'll see.
They got. What makes you not like the team this year?
No, we'll see. I mean, I just think that timing wise, we'll see. And when Jackson Chourio comes back, how he performs is definitely going to determine that.
Well, I think he's going to be primed to have a pretty big year.
And if Andrew Vaughn is the same guy that we ended up getting last year, then that really changed my mind, right? Because now you have some guys who are going to bring some offensive output for you. But I think with the guys that are coming up, when you're looking at the 2027 season, 2028, 2029, and then 2030, those are going to be the years where the Brewers could break through.
Yeah.
And if you sign a guy like Bryce Terang to an extension, he'll be part of that. So by the time he's in his 30s, these other guys will be in their mid to late 20s, and they're all coming together who at their top of their game.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's something the Brewers have broached with him at this point. So, and again, I thought it was great reporting by Kurt over at the Journal-Sentinel, just kind of getting that question out there, because I know it's one, especially the start that he's had to his season, that a lot of people wanted answers to, and, well, it seems like those conversations haven't necessarily happened for the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm excited because here on ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week, we've got Homer joining us. Homer is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
And also, I got to tell you about Universal Windows Direct. If you're looking to upgrade your home, I have the perfect solution for you. If you want to change out those old, outdated windows, when you lift up the windows paint chips and you got to force it up, you don't have to do all that. There is an affordable way to upgrade your windows but have high quality, and that's exactly what you get with Universal Windows Direct. When my consultant came out, Jamie Shea came to the house, he showed me all the different options. He didn't try to upsell me. He gave me exactly what I needed, and I absolutely loved my windows, and I want you to have that exact same feeling. And I want you to take advantage of the great deal that I got, too, where you can buy 2 windows, get 2 free. If you need to upgrade 10 windows in your house, you only need to pay for 5. And going on right now, you don't have to pay a single penny for the first 24 months. Yep, you pay no money and no interest for the first 2 years when you work with Universal Windows Direct. And on top of that, they'll give you a $500 bonus off your next home improvement project. Why wait? Give them a call today, and I promise you, you walk away saying UWD is the way to go. Give them a call at 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
We're back after this on ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
Southbound on 43, we've got backups, pretty hefty ones too, from before Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette, down to the KK River crossing. Northbound is backing up from the base of the high-rise bridge all the way to North Avenue. Got a couple of issues on 94. Westbound at St. Paul Avenue, the 2 left lanes are blocked with a crash, so definitely starting to see the bigger delays heading through that area. And a little bit further on westbound, right about at 35th Street, the center lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle. It's going to be slow all the way out to about Hawley Road anyway. On the eastbound side, we've got backups through the Barker Road area from Springdale, and then again back on the brakes from 76th Street all the way to 27th. Rates change, needs change. Great Midwest Bank can help you explore a refinance that better fits where you are today. Visit greatmidwestbank.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Partly cloudy skies, low of 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 62 at the lake, 70 inland. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof siding and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Coach Greg Gard. I've lived my whole life in Wisconsin, and I know what people here value: hard work, honesty, and looking out for one another. That's exactly how Bank CMG approaches banking. They combine hometown values with modern tools to help people make confident financial decisions. When you want a bank that understands where you're coming from, Bank CMG makes sense. Visit bankcmg.com or stop by your local branch. Let's get to work.
You ever notice that some people are picky when it comes to their beer? But Yuengling gets it. That's why they brew a beer for every taste. Start with a legend, a Yuengling traditional lager, a smooth amber lager that's been around longer than our great football rivalries. Then there's light lager. It's crisp and easy drinking. Golden Pilsner with a clean, refreshing taste, and the Black and Tan, a perfect blend of porter and Pilsner. Whether I'm tailgating, watching the game at a sports bar, just kicking back, I'm reaching for a Yuengling. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
It doesn't get any headlines, just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
An epic Brewers Pirates series is coming April 24th through the 26th. Kick it off with Star Wars Night on Friday the 24th. And check out a post-game laser show presented by ESPN Milwaukee. Then on Saturday the 25th, get a Brewers Windbreaker giveaway courtesy of Quartz. Wrap up the series with Family Sunday fun and kids cheer free. Plus, the first 5,000 kids take home an Abner Uribe poster. Grab a seat at Brewers.com.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property, it's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal & Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof, it's where life happens. At Grimal & Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's time to start living the dream. No weak sauce allowed. Live from the One Call That's All studios with Gabe Neitzel. Here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
Sorry, I was distracted. Apparently playing the old Homer and Gabe Open, finding it in the system.
Nicely done.
I remember Homer and Gabe. I was a young buck, I think. That was 2015, right?
You're still young.
Am I Homer? So did you feel young at 35?
Hell yes.
You did. So even in that moment,
45, yes.
I saw you at
55. I'm not, I didn't get you. You didn't ask me what you thought. I don't care what you thought. I just tell you what I thought.
So how about now at whatever you are now?
Older than hell.
So when did you get
I'm
old?
Old Testament.
What age?
Someone in the 60s.
It was in the 60s that you got old.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yep.
55.
55 is fine.
Is it when you became a grandfather? Is that kind of no?
No, it's when you just sleep all the time. You're just not the same. You know, you can't do what you used to do, or you don't. The big thing, you don't have the same energy.
Okay.
Like what am I? I'm tired. I've never been tired my whole life. I don't know what that is.
Oh, for real?
For real. Yes.
So now as you get to, do you drink coffee? What do you do? I mean,
No, you sleep. Like I want to do a contest. I think I could be asleep by in 10 minutes.
I mean, there have been moments where you have sat here while we're having our show and you've dozed off.
Tony Smith is sure I'm going to fall asleep in the post game one day. Every
Like
game,
if Shaka gets long-winded on something on an
I don't
answer?
know if he knows when, but he's kind of disappointed because he must have made a bet with somebody. This is a lock. He just doesn't know when. But
again,
that's the biggest thing. You get tired.
In the old Homer and Gabe days, we used to go to the Edgewater in Madison every Friday. I would drive.
Right.
Homer would sleep.
Yes.
Homer would be in the passenger seat. He'd sleep on our drive to Madison.
Always, even when I've done games, I've always been good for an hour after a game or so, and then I could sleep. But now I can sleep anytime, and you wake up. The lucky part is, and people that are old know this, the problem isn't getting up. The problem is whether you can fall back asleep again.
Oh.
Because many people old get up and they can't fall asleep. And Al McGuire was that way. He was up 20 hours a day. He couldn't sleep, and he couldn't. Once he got up, it's over. My wife has this a little bit. That's horrible. I can't imagine how bad that is. I get up 2 o'clock, fall asleep, get up again at 3:30, fall asleep.
Old people do wake up early.
Yes. Well,
Maybe the mall walkers.
My show ends at 6. Home watching some sports. My wife will say anytime from 7, maybe 6:45. Getting ready, huh?
Dang, you fall asleep at 7, 8?
Easy. Yeah.
So you're happy that when the Brewers play the East Coast games?
Yeah.
Because you get to see more.
But I always seem to wake up toward the end of the game before it's over. So
that's always a
Those
nice
are
little...
called naps.
Call them whatever you want.
So if you take a nap like that, you can go back to sleep in like an hour?
I've never tried. I've never taken
if you take a nap. So when you go to bed at 7:30, you're done for the night.
No, I'll probably wake up about 1 midnight, get up a little bit, and fall asleep again.
You ever have that moment where you wake up, you're like, what time is it?
I mean, when you're old, it's like that 24/7. He's old stinks. This is horrible. But,
okay.
You know, I only get upset when people lie about it because I feel pretty lucky. The worst part is when your health goes. When you're just limited, and then it's even worse. But when you're old, all you say is, "Hey, at least I'm not dead." Think of that. The only option you can come up with that's better is I'm not dead.
That's true. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You baby boomers were once the young generation up and coming, and now you guys are
people last longer. So, but I don't know this. Like I could go tomorrow. Okay. Gabe knows what he's supposed to say at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to go.
I've been instructed.
Been
instructed. Been instructed.
You can tell him.
Yeah.
Oh,
because it's going to be short.
He had a good run.
All right. I don't want any assignments. I just want to show up.
That's the only one needed.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
Oh, other than I've told my wife, you have to give everybody at their funeral a $10 gift card to McDonald's.
Oh, right
Oh.
now.
I see. If he said McDonald's or Ted's, it was going to be one of the two.
Yeah, I probably should do Ted's.
Let's do Ted's.
You got to mix in McDonald's and Ted's.
Yeah, you can pick and choose.
Yeah.
But
Would it be wrong for you to
here's
say,
the
give me
issue.
that Ted's?
Here's the issue. I'm dead. I have no way to know that she's going to do it.
I mean, she would. You've married her. You would think that she would probably honor your request.
She could easily not do it.
Oh wow,
easily.
Oh, you tell her I'm gonna haunt you,
Gabe.
She's not going to haunt you. You're dead.
Gabe, that truly will just be your eulogy. That's it.
That's
Yeah,
all.
we
That's
agreed
all.
to- how
Yes.
long ago did we
that
agree to
was that probably a decade ago at this point.
Yeah. He clearly said that's all it's gonna be because Homer asked for that. If Homer requested, you got to honor the dead.
You don't. I'm dead. He could talk for 20 minutes if he wants. I'm dead.
He could.
No,
But
because
you got a
Homer.
lot of life left in you.
Homer gave me 3 days into working with Homer. I had to give the only best man speech I ever gave. So we started working together on a Wednesday, and that Friday I go, Homer, I got to give a best man speech tomorrow. You have any advice for me? And Homer's advice was, nobody ever said that speech was too short.
Yep. That came from my dad, stolen from my dad.
And it was great advice. I kept that thing short and sweet. And I've noticed at every other wedding that I've been to,
They didn't get that advice.
Whenever somebody pulls out a script,
Yes.
you're going, oh boy.
Oh,
it's
Greg
not going to be
Scalzo
good.
did
No,
that, didn't
that's
he?
my second rule, but yeah. Anytime. It's your script. This is your life. Just tell us.
I mean, it's kind of
what
hard.
you
'cause
feel and say. No, it isn't.
I mean, you
It
got
is
to
not.
figure
No.
out. I mean,
no, you don't.
As somebody who's in the process of, understanding my brother and understanding the maid of honor, my fiance's sister, you want to make sure you hit bullet points.
No, you don't.
So you think it's a bad decision for me? I'm on
I'm
a groomzilla.
against notes, but I know people do. No, you don't need notes. This is your life. These are the people.
Everybody's not a public speaker.
I'm not a public speaker. I didn't learn this as a
Wait,
this
so
has nothing to do with being a
Scals
public
pulled out
speaker.
his speech?
Well, he went for 16 minutes.
Whoa.
I thought it was
And
12.
It might have been 12. It was entertaining.
Strofe loves to.
Well, yeah, I mean, Scals is going to make that entertaining. I think most other people that go that long are not going to make it entertaining at a wedding.
We've been instructed that the audio recording of that can never see the light of day.
It was good. It was entertaining.
Yeah,
I'm
sure
trying to
it
add
was.
more people.
I had probably the shortest speech ever at my daughter's wedding.
What did you say? Thanks for taking her off my hands?
No. Like, we tell me all these stories. I said, all I can tell you is I know and remember the moment when she was with Jaime and we were at the zoo and she looked at him like he was the greatest thing. I couldn't believe her look. And I thought, damn, that is good when your kid has found someone that they look at like that. It's over.
Oh, that's good.
That was done. That's done. And then I said, and I just want everybody here to know that I invited George Thompson to this wedding so I can do this. George, stand up. George is the greatest college basketball player in the history of America. And if you don't know him and you don't know why, let me tell you. You call Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you call Magic Johnson, you call Larry Bird, and they will all say no. George Thompson is the only man alive to have his number retired 3 times. And that's because they gave it to kids after they retired it. So really, his wife came up and said, that was nice, but that was so not true.
I'm confused.
Okay, so he's written, his number's retired in 1969. Tom Crean gives it to Lazar Hayward. And he wears it for a game. I didn't even notice, and John Dodd's a good had it on his night. I go, holy, you can't do that. And so they said, no, we don't retire the number. We retire the jersey. And I said, you can tell anybody you want that crap. But when you go back and look, when they retired it, they told him no one's going to ever wear this number again. So Lazar Hayward wore it for like 2. And they asked George, and George said, hey, he was offended that they didn't ask him. Because I don't know, Lazar was good enough. I don't know what George would have done. And so then, a few years later, Wojciechowski gives 24 to another kid, some kid from Florida. Again.
Did not look up in the rafters?
I don't know what.
They're
No.
not getting
I don't know anything
getting
about
Dwayne
anything.
Wade's number out.
No, they just want to recruit. So they called George and said, George, they did it again. What do you have to say? He goes, use everything I said the last time. So 3 times they've retired it.
So I have a question though, because I'm going through this wedding process, and I made a big mistake. Invited too many people.
First of all, hold on. You can't do it wrong. That's the first thing.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
You inviting 287 people.
Well, no. The only thing I thought you were talking about the speech. The only thing you do with the speech is be too long. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I just think it's interesting that you invited George Thompson to your daughter's wedding just so you can talk about him. Did you talk about him long? You talked about your daughter?
Yeah, probably.
That is insanity.
Story's better.
That tracks.
Story's better.
That
tracks.
is insanity.
Well, no, they were both pretty short.
But
they
I
were
mean,
both pretty short, and I didn't invite anybody from the station. No one, because my daughter wanted a really small wedding. And I said, fine, I'll honor you. It's your wedding, whatever you want.
I guess you invite
And
people
I
from your
didn't
job,
think it would be fair to invite the richest people at the station just to get a better gift.
Who are the richest people?
Craig.
Who else?
There's nobody in his suite. He's the guy.
There's one person that would have been on the
and he
invite
would have
list.
either come or we would have done something because he just cares a lot about relationships.
If
So
I
I'm not
didn't-
doing that to him.
If I didn't have a show with Craig, I wouldn't have invited him.
Well, I mean, your relationship with Craig is different than mine. And
Yeah.
I've said this when I'm 20 years. I work here because of him. I took the job because of him, and every day here I work because of him. I don't work for Good Karma. You asked me who I work for Craig Carmison. And I told him that, and then when he came on my 25th, whatever,
Yeah,
then
it
he
made
left
him
'cause
uncomfortable.
he's-
Yeah. They had a nice little uncomfortable off. Yep.
But he knew what I was going to do.
Yep.
And I say it all the time. There were people that at one point inquired, said, we'd like, and I said, okay, just so you understand, I work for Craig Carmison. Are you Craig Carmison? No. Well, then there's no reason for us to talk.
Whoa, boy.
And
that
so
must be a
then,
manager.
hold on.
Were you his manager?
No,
I've never managed
I'm not
Homer.
even sure it was the. But anyway, then 2 weeks later, they called and said we need to talk again. I kind of wanted to go to breakfast, so I agreed. Sat down, and they said, "Well, we want." I said, "Hold on, what did I say the last time?" And I said, "Are you now Craig Carmison?" And they go, "No." I said, "Well, done and over with."
Thanks for breakfast.
I can't wait till I get that much cachet in this game where I can
Why?
tell somebody, you don't look like Craig.
Well, no.
As I'm eating my omelet.
Let's be fair. If you ever get asked by somebody else,
Well,
if they really want you, the first thing they tell you is money.
Well, I mean, you know the first thing that he told Craig when Craig was trying to get him to work at ESPN Milwaukee.
No.
What did you tell Craig?
I don't remember.
You can't afford me.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Homer.
That was the story I was told.
I think there's truth to that, yeah. I didn't even know that much about the station. I'd met him once. But I think that's probably true.
Yeah. And now here we are, 20 years later, Homer's still with ESPN Milwaukee.
He said, no, the most embarrassing story, and I think this was the dumbest thing I've ever done. So I've worked here a week, and I walk into an office, and I go, I can't believe it. He goes, what? He goes, if I'd have known then what I know now, I've never taken this job. He says, well, what's the deal? I go, we don't even have a damn trash can in the studio. Not even a trash can. I go, come on, the first job I had in New Richmond, Wisconsin, 9 people, we had a trash can. How do you have a studio with those trash cans? And Craig is sitting back there and just so calm. And I go, you don't have any reaction? I tell you this, you stand there, and he goes, do you have any more? And I go, no. And he goes, all right, first of all, we can get you a trash can. And I thought, oh, my God, did I sound that bad?
Well, we don't have a trash can now. We have a recycling
It's the greatest
bin now.
decision, and I've been in business since 1980. It's the greatest decision I ever made.
I'm glad. I didn't realize when I started interning, you were freshly at Good Karma Brands.
So
he told me I overdressed one time as an intern. I'll never forget it.
My greatest intern story is Dominic James was an intern. Okay, and he comes in. Most of the guys, I mean, communications is a major that Marquette that some athletes take. So he's here, and he didn't give a hoot about anything, which was fine. I said, Dominique, if you don't care, that's fine. And then all you need to do is get me a soda over at Speedway across the street. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a Subway. It wasn't a
Subway.
And Dominique's like, fine. So David Coubillon, I don't know, later on was like an intern that came in. He goes, I think Homer would do something, but I don't think I can do it. I go, what do you mean? Is it true? You told Dominique to get you a soda at Subway? I go, yeah, every day. How do you do that? It's Dominic James. I said I needed a soda. But he didn't,
Yeah, I'm glad you don't talk.
Coubillon's a special human. I mean, I don't know. He's probably making a lot of money, but
I'm glad you don't talk to the interns now.
Oh, I'm the best person the intern could have.
I'm telling you this right now.
I agree.
Nowadays, I don't think. I think if you ask the intern to get you a soda,
I think you can do that. You just have to pay him. I think, but it wasn't. he wasn't the slightest bit bothered because we agreed that he really didn't want to learn anything and really didn't have any questions, which is fine.
He's like Darren Peterson. I'm just here.
He's just here.
I'm just here to get these credits.
Well, yeah.
Get this money.
I still am in touch. He's married. He's got a really great spiritual group that he does basketball. I have his T-shirts. Good. Jesus is bigger than basketball. So the back of the T-shirt. So I'm a huge fan. And I don't know, you guys weren't there, so I get to interview the 4 players. Nigel James, Adrian Stevens, Chase Ross, who has the greatest voice one I've ever heard. We got to get him to do some stuff.
Oh, really?
It's like James Earl Jones.
Ooh.
You won't believe it. You go, I thought Hoover was overstating, but this might even be better. And Ben Gold. I don't know how it came up, and I mentioned about Nigel James, and he said, so do I remind you of anybody? And I go, yeah. Same last name.
Oh, yeah.
Just like you, as a freshman, did incredible things. Dominic James. And he seemed like he was, I said, what's the deal? He said, I thought you were going to say LeBron James. And I go, they told me you were confident, but they may have understated it. No, you do not remind me of LeBron James.
If he did remind you of LeBron, he wouldn't have been on that stage.
That's true.
He'd be long gone.
That's correct.
He'd be long gone. Ron in the Key does text in on the Cardinals Talking text line 800-990-3776. Ron also recalls that we were supposed to organize a Homer Memorial Golf Tournament before Homer even died.
That's true. I was for that. Yes.
Yes.
That was one of my ideas.
A Homer Memorial Golf Tournament before he even passes. Yes. So that was one of Homer's great ideas. We will get to Packers talk, I promise you. With Homer. That is next.
More coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week.
The Green Bay Packers select.
It's officially Draft Week, and ESPN Wisconsin is your home for everything you need to know.
If there are going to be teams that are interested in moving up to get a specific player, that feels to me to be exactly what Goody needs.
From the first pick to the final name called, we've got it all. Thursday to Saturday, live and local with wall-to-wall coverage. 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, or ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this, and Summit Credit Union's got you. Got your tax refund before it mysteriously disappears? Invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait. This offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed.
Mamma mia!
Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Canty.
They've been star hunting for a while now. It didn't work out with Damian Lillard a couple of years ago. He ended up getting shipped to the Milwaukee Bucks. I think this is a situation now where you're hoping that you can make a run at being able to get a player like Giannis to build around. Pat Riley has shown once he gets that superstar in the building, he knows how to field a competitive team around him. So I would feel differently about the prospects of the Miami Heat moving forward if they were able to land Giannis this summer, but there is no question about it. The Miami Heat are never going to be in a situation where they can be a top-of-the-lottery type of squad. They're always going to try to be competitive. Based on how today's NBA goes and the elimination of true free agency, then you're going to have to star chase and you're going to have to be able to land a trade and get a superstar talent that can be the best option on a championship-winning team. And Giannis has proven that he can do that, albeit a long time ago.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Strofe here for Robert Hack Diamonds. Hack, yeah! The most trusted name in diamonds in the state of Wisconsin for nearly 80 years. Helping Southeast Wisconsin find their dream diamond, dream ring, just like they did for my fiance and her engagement ring. I worked with the team in Greenfield, 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, Greenfield, 2 in Brookfield. And they were just fantastic for a guy that had never been through this before. I've never bought an expensive piece of jewelry before, but they made it simple. They made me seem like the expert, and they nailed my fiance's dream engagement ring. They can do the same for you if you're looking to take that next step in your relationship. There's only one place to go. It's Robert Hack Diamonds and online. Robert Hack, H-A-A-C-K, diamonds.com. RobertHackDiamonds.com. Say hack yeah to the team at Robert Hack Diamonds.
Homer Hour is coming up shortly, but he's with us here on ESPN Wisconsin Draft Week. Gabe Neitzel along with Kyle Wallace. So Kyle earlier, Homer said he doesn't necessarily believe Goody when he says drafting the best player available.
Goody's one of the great liars ever. He never tells the truth.
Thank you, Homer. We can agree on that.
He doesn't. He's not going to tell you anything. He's not going to tell you anything because when he talks about believing in his players,
yeah,
he's not going to knock his own player ever. But you can judge by, and you follow this closer, you can judge by what he does.
Yeah.
And he tells you by what he does, what he thinks of the people that he has.
He raved about not Josh Jacobs. He raved about Rashawn Gary only a couple of weeks ago about how he looks forward to having him on his roster and all the 60-some pressures that he had. He talked so highly of him, knowing in the back of his mind he was looking to get rid of him. And that's exactly what he did.
Well, because
did a hell of a job getting rid of him, too.
Amazing what he got. No, you just judge by what he does, and he has one that he can hold against everybody because no one thought he would ever do the Parsons deal.
Yeah.
So you have to be open now to the possibility of anything. You can't say, as I'm sure I said before, that's not going to happen. It never does.
Yeah, the Parsons deal, I think, has a lot to do with the shift to me, the shift in who is in charge of the team.
The reason to me is insignificant. He just did something that was unlike anything. The closest he'd ever come was when he first took over and they brought in like 4 defensive players to make the defense better. But so then you're there and it's not your. I mean, he believes that he's right when he drafts these guys.
Well, and you have to. Right? Like, if you don't believe in the guys you're drafting in, like, what are we doing?
But the question is, and you'd have to, how quickly do you admit you messed up?
Well, and that's
4 or 5 years.
I don't.
The only person that I can think of that ever has been willing to admit quickly was Ron Wolf.
Right.
And I think that's part of the reason he's in the Hall of Fame. Because everybody else associates an amount of shame with, oh, I got this wrong. Hey, everyone gets them wrong. Move on and correct the mistake quickly.
And they learned under Ron Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ron Wolf, my favorite line ever was when everybody was raving about how smart he was because he got Donald Driver in the 7th round. He said, I'm happy, but don't tell me I'm smart. I go, what? If I was smart, I'd have picked him in the 2nd round. I mean, if he's that good, I misjudged his talent, but everybody else was even worse for whatever reason.
They had some event a handful of years ago where Chewy was at and all the guys from the Super Bowl team, and Ron looked at Chewy and goes, how the hell didn't you go in the 1st round? And she was like, I don't know. You're the one making the picks, man.
And this is the part I'd ask you or anybody. How do you have the guts not to take someone when you think they're that good and you still wait until they're – I mean, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
Like Ron Wolf always had Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
He was the pick before Michaels. But if he thought he was that good, when you get close –
move up, go get him.
You move up, go get him. But clearly to Ron Wolf, wasn't willing to do that. But that's I don't understand how you can wait. You think somebody, well, he thought Brett Favre was the best player in the draft, but he didn't
Yes.
have it. So, like, somebody that you have, you know, if you had somebody that was so amazingly good, and yet you still, these guys always kind of still wait.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about this is that you actually, I mean, obviously you were alive, but you got to see the transition of the Green Bay Packers being good and then being bad,
Right.
and then Ron Wolf coming in and basically being the savior, where it all, for Gabe and I, we were still so young, whereas you actually got to see what it was like before.